Hi, this is Lisa Schmid with the Stamper Studio. And this week I had somebody ask me about embossing folders and how to get the right layers. And she was just struggling with that. So I thought maybe some of you are struggling with that. So I'm going to show you what I do and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. First, I'm going to start with the embossing folder. Now, there's a regular embossing folder. So this is fairly, I don't want to say thin, but it's not the extra thick ones. Okay, so here's what I do. Now this is with the Big Shot, and in a few days we're gonna have a new machine. So, but here's with the Big Shot. So I put this is what came with it, the multi-purpose platform, and I always start the same way, and sometimes I have to change it. So let's go ahead and stick a piece of paper in here. I'm just going to do that edge, and then cardstock, yes, of course, cardstock. And I'm going to start rolling. Oh, it's too tight. So I take it back and I get rid of one of these. Okay, and then I'll start rolling again. Oh, that feels good. And sometimes I'll do 3 or 4 sheets of cardstock in here to emboss it. Look at that. It's so nicely embossed. It's really just embossed really well. Okay, so that is our thin one. Now, the question was actually about these thick ones, the 3D ones. And here's what I do for that. Let's try it and see. We'll use our Pacific Point cardstock again. And this is the one that comes with Whale of a Time. Okay, I'm actually going to put it this way. So I'll stick this in here. And what I do is I use the same platform with this only one plate. I don't use the second plate. And start rolling. Oh, too hard. So again, we back off one of these. Try again. Oh, not hard enough. And this is how we figure it out, right? So let's go ahead and try this. This is going to be probably too hard. Yep. So let's take out this one. Now I'm back to just the base here. And let's try this. This should work. Ooh, that's pretty tight. So I'm going to take out one of these. This is exactly what she was struggling with. Okay, I'm going to put one back down and try this. Nope, that's not hard enough. And put one more back down. I bet this is what she was saying was too hard. And I find, yeah, that one's too hard. So what do? I'll show you. So we're going to put this, we can't use that one. Okay, so I'm using one embossing plate because I think we tried 2 and it was too hard for sure. So this is where I start using what I call a shim. So I just take any piece of cardstock and lay it there to give it a little lift. Okay, that's still a little light. So let's go ahead and add. I have another piece of paper here. And go ahead and add that. So you're basically just making, oops, I forgot my layer. There we go. Use the cleaner of the two. You think I might need new ones? Okay, so it's still really light. So the other thing I do have is I have our mats. So let's try that. This one, these two come together. One is thick, one is super thin. So I'm going to try the thin one first. And I think this is exactly what the problem was, right? So let's try that. Oh, that still feels loose. So now I'm going to try the thick one. And honestly, I've used 3D folders before, and I've used it on the top with nothing. Oh, there we go. That is it. That's our recipe right there. So this one is our base. Let me push that back through there. So this one is our base on number 1, the thicker of the 2 mats, and 1 plate. Okay, you ready? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, beautiful. That looks really nice, really well embossed. I feel like, I'm not sure you can see it, but it is embossed really well. Okay, so that is how I kind of work it out to see what do I need. So those are the two. I like these because they're foam. I want to show you. So those are the embossing folders. The thin and the thick. And honestly, I have done it before with a different thick one. And I have done it like this with the paper and this and just one plate, the embossing folder and one plate. And that has worked. Now, I don't know why for this one, it felt like it was too thick once I had the cardstock in there. Okay, we already tried this, but that was too thick. So who knows why? I don't know why. One plate was, maybe it was a little bit thinner. You know, I don't want to break it. So definitely too thick. So remember that was, we used we used one plate, and we used the thicker mat. Okay, and that was our ticket to getting that one to work. Okay, I'll pull this out. So there you go. So that was the ticket for that one. All right, so while we are still doing this, I'm going to go ahead and show you some framelits since I'm using the Big Shot. And framelits, actually, this year they're called dies, which is kind of funny, but this is a must-have in my opinion, this magnetic platform. And what, there's a couple things here. I want to die cut some words. And this one is from the Love You More Than dies. Let's get those up. Okay, so we always want to put a plate on the bottom. And we put then we put our paper, our cardstock. Then we put that on. And then we're going to grab our second plate and put it on top. Here it is. Put that on top and run it through. And that is going to give us a nice, ooh, I feel it nice and firm. That's going to give us a nice clean cut. Now, oh, they came out. You see that? They just came out just like that. Just like that, they popped out. Now these would be great to adhere with either two-way glue, or if you punched out the foam, like the little pop dots, if you did it like this, then you would, we have sheets now of the foam, and that would work great with that. Okay, so that came out really well. What I thought it was going to do is, I see these little holes. Those we're going to use for something on a different one. The holes mean that, here's one. The holes mean that you might need to use a tool that we have, a brush that we have. Okay, so this is seaweed, and it's from our smooth sailing dies. So let's cut out some seaweed. Push all that back through. Woo. Put that on there. Okay. And I have done this before where I've die cut it like this. And what happens is you get a big impression in here, and that is okay. It still works. You just have a little impression in there. Okay, so we're going to do this and run it through. You can tell it's nice and firm, but I can still turn the crank. It's not so hard that I feel like I'm going to break it. Have done that one time. And I'm going to use our foam mat. And before I take it off the paper, the foam mat there, I'm going to slide that off, and I'm going to use our brush. That's what those holes are for, so I can try to get all the little pieces out. Oh, that came out really nicely. That looks really good. That's what these little holes are for, because sometimes if these are without the holes and without using the brush, maybe it wouldn't pop out. Okay, I think I had something else I wanted to show you with the dies. Oh, yes. In this set, Gathered Leaves dies, see, these dies are, they don't die cut out, they just emboss it. So let's grab a leaf, and we'll go ahead and emboss a piece of paper. We're going to try it first with just the magnet, just the sandwich magnet, clear plate, die, clear plate. And let's see what that does, because I'm going to show you, I don't think it's going to be a good enough impression. It's a pretty good impression. I don't know if you, I don't feel like you can really see it. Oh yeah, you can. There you go. You can see it there. It's a pretty good impression. I am curious to know if by using that thin foam mat, if I would get a stronger or deeper, we don't have blue leaves, but I have blue cardstock, so we're going to make a blue leaf. it makes it a little thicker, and I bet I'm going to get a little bit stronger or deeper image. I usually don't die cut sitting down, but that's okay. Oh yeah. So if you can see, let's see. There we go. I think you can see how the blue one definitely has deeper lines than the Cajun Craze does. But I mean, the Cajun one is okay. I certainly would use that, but this one is much better. And that is using the foam or the little mats here. And this mat is called, because they are pretty handy, impression mats. So, and they are $10 for the 2, and they just give a little give. But always remember, you can try the shim. That is always a good, if you're just like, oh, it's just a little loose, you can always try a shim. I think that is all I want to show you. I do want to tell you that on Wednesday, on August 4th, 2 things. We have a new website, which is very user-friendly. I listened to a Facebook Live event today from Stampin' Up, and it is fantastic. You can have a wish list. You can heart your favorite items. It's going to be so much better than what we've had. So the online website that you order from is going to be so much better. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is this new Stampin' Cut emboss machine is going to be coming out on that same day, on August 4th. So super excited for that one. You know, someone asked me one time, there's a small one. There's a small one. I'm going to come down here. And the small one is for those small dies that I did the first time. So there's a small one, and then there's a large one. And the small one is 60. It's called mini. And the large one is 120. Okay, big difference in price, right? I get that. But the mini can only do the mini embossing folders. The large, the regular one, can do the minis. It can also do the regular size. So in my opinion, getting the mini, you're limiting yourself to what you can actually use with it. So I guess you could cut these, but I don't know that I would do that. So anyway, just want to let you know that. Let me tell you, a great way to get this is if you want to gather some friends, just to have them order. If you want me to explain things to them, do a little Zoom, we can do that. And then you can get some hostess benefits to put towards this, because that's a great way to get some free merchandise. So I'm looking forward to this. It does fold up. These 2 sides fold up quite nicely so that you can carry it. Here it is right there. Oops, we went back up. So here it is right here. It's folded up so nicely. So anyway, I hope that you, Barb, did that answer your questions? Can you put in the comment whether that helped you? I don't know if you actually saw it, but hopefully that will answer the problem you were having. I will tell you that we used the mat number 1. We used a thicker pad and 1 of these with the thick embossing folder. So go back and watch a little bit if you missed it, but I think that will answer your questions. And yes, so maybe we need to order that those pads for you. Okay, hopefully you learned something. I have another tip I'm going to tell you about another time. I just learned that I'm super excited to share with you another time. So thanks for coming. Make sure you like the video, like our page, and so we can make more people happy with stamping. And we hope that you come in on Saturday, because I have Saturday in the studio. And so I'll be posting some dimensions for cardstock for a card tonight, and you can cut them and then make it with me on Saturday. And I'll be camping again. So that'll be fun. Super fun. We'll be recording from our campsite. So happy stamping to you, and keep those questions. Anything you need help with, let me know. Okay. Happy stamping. Bye.